It's pretty amazing, this. You just have your tea and you just... Hi, it's Sang Speaker ASMR. We've all made videos. It is the rule that everybody at least cocks up one. Most people, they get it out of the way in their first, maybe even their second video. Today, we're gonna be going around the office and ask everybody how they're doing. Offer them a cup of tea, a bit of therapy, and ask them their biggest failure in video production.
So we once got this incredibly promising job application from somebody, and we thought it was going to go really, really well. They made a little video. They called me Ruben in it, and then we made the decision to hire them. It was a terrible move.
Ben.
I'm Ollie.
Ollie.
Yes.
What's your biggest failure?
Well, your one was calling me Ben about 20 seconds ago. So we once had a shoot with like this educational program, and one of the stages in that is they get to build a car. So we took this car out and gave it a little drive around as a promotional thing, got some really cool footage of it driving on the roads and in private land. And then one of the final shots at the end of the day, we're near this roundabout, and then the guy comes around the corner and he absolutely flies past us. We turn around to our side and the guy crashes straight over a roundabout and destroys the car.
In terms of making films, I was about 14 and I was making a short film. I went on numerous shoot days and I lost like footage from like 2 or 3 days worth, and I felt too awkward to ask people to come back and like reshoot it. So I ended up with like a 5-minute film, which was meant to be a 20-minute film, but there were people who had seen my film on YouTube and then like took it into the class, and then a load of them in the class played it and just kind of laughed at it, and like the teacher was like ripping it and like being really nasty about it.
That's deep.
But it's alright because he's still a media teacher.
Tom! What's your biggest failure?
I think that my biggest one was probably out in South Korea, where I was filming. The guy that kind of commissioned me to do the job, like, I brought all my own equipment, was kind of ready to do it, blah blah. And then he bought this new glide cam, and he was really keen that we like tried this glide cam for the video. But my experience was pretty limited with the equipment at the time. I was kind of eager to impress, eager to please. The guy was like quite happy with it. You know, he wanted to put it out on the socials, so I spent all night kind of editing it together. Published this video, and I remember the comments were like, was this cameraman drunk? What was this guy thinking? Has he ever used a glide cam before? No, I'd never used a glide cam before.
I tried to make, well I did, I made a feature film when I was 17.
Most of the planet's water has been taken.
I booked the premiere before I'd finished the film. I ended up having to stay awake for 3 days straight to try and finish this film, not managing to finish it. So we took the PC to the cinema and plugged it into the projector, and at my first film premiere I sat in the projector's room on the floor as several tracks of music played over the top of each other at some sections, and it randomly went black at different bits and I had to wiggle the mouse to keep it going, and the whole thing was a bit of a disaster.
What lessons did you learn from it?
I learned not to listen to what other people have to say, especially if they're a media teacher who is ripping a 14-year-old kid's film 2 years on from when he made it, and plan your films properly.
So yeah, kind of what I learned from that was give yourself time to like learn how to use equipment properly rather than jumping in at the deep end. So
the thing that I learned was like, you need to kind of put everything together. Filmmaking isn't about one person or how good you are at one thing. The edit can be fantastic, but if the story hasn't been thought out properly, then it's gonna look awful. If you don't record sound, but everything else is brilliant, then it's probably gonna be awful. So the thing that I was taught quite early on was that if you don't manage to put everything together and you don't consider all the factors, then you're not likely to make something that's gonna be successful, however you define those metrics.
So what did he learn from someone else's car crash?
Just always be safe, you know, make sure you're looking after yourself.
Does insurance help?
Insurance, of course, helps.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching this vlog and listening to our painful failures.
Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe. Have we all made videos?
Yes, we have indeed all made videos.
There's proof right there.